Good morning, Carmel Catholic. Mr. Huther here again, and it's Friday. And today is a special Friday. Not only is every Friday a special Friday, but today is a very special Friday because we are celebrating you, our students of Carmel Catholic High School. So I want everybody to sit up straight, listen up, put those phones away, and direct your attention to that TV in front of you so you can hear all the reasons why you are awesome. Because it's 100% a fact that Carmel Catholic students are the best students in the whole world. And I'm going to give you a list of reasons why. And in fact, it's almost an embarrassment of riches, because in asking all of our faculty and staff why you're so awesome, why you're so great, and in reflecting on why we love you so much, the responses just keep pouring in. My email inbox right now is literally being flooded. The internet might crash throughout the whole building because of all the email traffic flow coming into me stating all the reasons why Carmel students are awesome. So let's begin on that note, because we saved the best for last here at Carmel, and to close out Catholic Schools Week, we're celebrating you in all your fine sweatpants and hoodies this morning. So why do we love our Carmel Catholic students? Well, my reason is simple. It's impossible to have a bad day when you're around Carmel students. It's just that simple. It's impossible to have a bad day when you're around Carmel students, because you guys are so nice. You're so fun. You're so enthusiastic and generous. You're so smart. You're so talented. You're just full of life. And so I love being your principal. I love serving you because I literally can't have a bad day when I come into work. I can't. All I got to do is just find some Carmel students, hang around with them for a little bit, even though they might not want to hang around with me all the time. But I will do it anyway because it makes me have a wonderful day. Now, let's hear from others. So Mr. Schwab says he loves Carmel students because of their politeness. Many students say thank you as they are dismissed from class, which I have seen often, heard often. Miss LeBeau admires your drive. Mrs. Norton says, I love witnessing their intellectual growth, the unique talents they possess, and the connections that I build with them. Mrs. Young says, our students have such energy and enthusiasm that sometimes it makes a room like almost explode. Mrs. Barrera Valdez says, I love the happiness within them and everything, or the effort that they put into everything. Mr. Hansel, very simple but very profound, says, our students actually seem to like being here. Mr. Moore appreciates the willingness to buy into what we're doing here at Carmel Catholic and to listen to our advice about how to bring out the best in each and every one of you. Mrs. Burkhalter loves our students' kindness, which is shared abundantly with everybody throughout the community. Mr. Leach is grateful to see how you all support one another. And the example he used was the dance team going to state just this last weekend. How many of you supported them? How many of you at 11 a.m., if you weren't down there supporting them, were watching their performance here? And how CDN so enthusiastically broadcast that performance for our entire community to watch live. Mr. Nyland says he loves your open and welcoming nature. He says you will literally say hello each time you see him in the hallway. It could be like 10 times you see Mr. Nyland. For some of you who might not make the best decisions, you may see him like, I don't know, 20, 30 times a day. But every time you're saying, hello, Mr. Nyland, such a simple greeting is so profound. Mrs. Bobbert says, I love how our students look out and care for one another. Mrs. Coppins loves your energy and enthusiasm, your creativity and your willingness to take on challenges. Miss Batista, she loves seeing your perseverance when the high school version of her would simply walk away. Mr. Paluga says, our students just seem to be very happy here. And Mrs. Hunteman so adequately and so concisely states, the best thing about you, your joy. Mrs. Budress says your upbeat energy, enthusiasm, and the variety of personalities. Mrs. Lamphere loves your willingness to step up and lead, to lead others. Miss Collins loves your students' hearts. She loves your hearts. You can tell who they are and how they treat others. They have a good heart. Mr. Donner loves your zest, your zeal for life, your willingness to explore and challenge the world and to see beauty in everything that surrounds you. Mrs. Gilly loves how polite you are. Again, she will say that no matter how many times a student sees her, they're always asking, "How are you, Mrs. Gilly? How are you doing? Nice to see you, Mrs. Gilly." Mr. Titterton loves your enthusiasm for life, your ability to care for each other, even in difficult times, your overwhelming, never-ceasing, life-affirming positivity. Mr. Smith, Mr. Brian Smith, he loves that so many of you openly practice your faith. In fact, he said so many were at Mass this AM. On student day, you could have slept in, come a little late. We probably wouldn't have cared if you came in late on student day, but you didn't. You were here practicing and showing up for Mass, celebrating Mass with one another. Mrs. Beagle loves the students at Carmel for so many reasons. You're well-rounded and balanced. You embody generosity, kindness, compassion, and empathy. She says, "I've never been at a school where so many students say good morning or hello in the hallways. And as they enter and leave a room, thank you." A theme. The greatest compliment that I could offer is this one. I'm going to be an old man someday, and I would trust my future to you any day. I want a society that's going to take care of me when I'm old and when I've lost my mind. I trust my future in you, Carmel. You guys are awesome. And as I'm reading all these compliments, again, literally my inbox is just filling up. Mr. Potasic says he loves that you show kindness to one another, resounding kindness. Mr. Pleiss says you're respectful and eager to learn. Ms. Rosetich, oh my gosh, her email's like a mile long here about all the things she loves about you. But it's the fact that you smile and say hello in the hallways. There's never a time I walk down the hall and am not greeted with a smiling face. Mrs. Murchek, she loves your passion, your creativity. She says it's energizing for her. Mr. Barclay, he loves your dedication to the arts. He loves your passion. He loves that you put your best into everything. Miss Fitzpatrick loves that you share your talents and gifts with the community. Miss Hawk says you're always up for a challenge. Again, I can just keep going through my email here and it's just full. So I'm going to keep sharing these messages of gratitude. We have more gratitude to share with you during advisory in a video format so you can see the enthusiasm and love on our faculty and staff's face for you. But Carmel students, I'm here to tell you, you're the best in the whole wide world. I can't wait to celebrate this day with you. Now it is time for CDN News to start.
Good, we're good.
I'm joined by Mr. Hansel, one of Carmel's theology teachers and a key player in Street Scenes Logistics. So, Mr. Hansel, what do you do for Street Scenes?
So my job is pretty unique among a lot. A lot of the event for Street Scenes is this kind of big mess of everybody working together. Mine's kind of this weird thing off to the side. I'm the finance director. So throughout the year, I don't really do a lot. People give me their receipts and I log and categorize them. Very interesting. But when we get to the actual 2 weeks before Street Scenes, I order all of the cash that we need for that weekend. I get volunteers, mostly like your guys' parents and alum parents, who show up that weekend. And when we get down to it, I'm here for several hours before the event until a couple hours after the event, and the whole night locked in a room, sending out volunteers to collect extra money, bringing it back. We count it and organize it and put it in a safe and then deposit it in the bank at the end of the night. And then after the event, I help Ms. Polis and Ms. Tishinsky figure out kind of where we ended up financially with like all the money we brought in and what we spent and stuff like that.
That's really cool. So what's your favorite Street Scenes memory?
I mean, Street Scenes is a pretty unique event. I think it's pretty awesome. And I think most new teachers here have this experience, but 10, 11 years ago when I started, everybody was like, "Oh, have you ever been to Street Scenes? Have you, heard about Street Scenes?" And you're not going to believe it. The whole school changes and it's totally crazy. And you can't really understand it until you've actually witnessed it, like the whole school shutting down and turning into this kind of thing, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool. What should we look forward to in these Street Scenes?
I think this is just going to be a bigger event, which is good for the school. Money-wise, but it's the 50th anniversary. So I think we're going to get a lot more excitement and a lot more people here, which is cool.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hansel.
Of course,
Up
thanks,
next,
Gabby.
we have an interview regarding Carmel's girls basketball team.
it's Chanel back. You know what day it is. It's game day, but it's a special game day. It's senior night. Come support our seniors. We have both hockey and basketball tonight. The basketball is going to be at 7 p.m. Show up a little early, around 6:30, so you can get to like little name calling and stuff like that. And hockey, I'm not too sure on hockey. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be honest always. But tonight's theme for the boys basketball game is going to be PJs. You know, let's support our seniors. It's their last home game of the season. Let's support our boys. Let's support Davion Jones, Bryce Smith, Noah Lamora, Caden Moulton, Caleb Jackson, Jack Del Carmen, Jacob I always mess up his name on purpose, so now I'm doing an accident. Shajay. And then we have, hold on, Mark Zatella. There we go. Let's support our boys. Let's go. Let's go, Carmel. Woo! Cut me.
Good morning, Carmel Catholic. I'm Bridget Call. It's 8:15. Happy Groundhog Day. Breaking news this morning, Puxatawny Phil, the United States weather groundhog since 1887, has predicted an early spring. Despite the prediction, Phil has only gotten this correct 40% of the time over the last 10 years. As we wrap up Catholic Schools Week, today we celebrate you, the students. During your lunch, be sure to stop by the treat station at the north end of the student lounge where cookies and hot chocolate will be waiting for you as a gift from the faculty and staff. There will be a special visit from our favorite comfort dogs, the Canines for Comfort, during the lunch waves. Please only attend during your lunch, not during class. Happy Catholic Schools Week. The JV hockey team have earned a spot in the Scholastic Hockey League state playoffs. Come out to support the Corsairs as they take home ice at the Glacier Ice Arena in Vernon Hills this Sunday, February 4th at 3:20 p.m. against Loyola. Students, come see the Street Scene Student Show. All students are welcome to attend the 7:30 p.m. show free of charge. Plan on showing up from 7 to 7:15 at the auditorium foyer. Students who cannot make the 7:30 show are encouraged to consider purchasing tickets for either Sunday, February 4th at 2 o'clock or Thursday, February 8th at 6 o'clock. The cast, crew, pit, and directors of the student show have worked hard to bring you an amazing performance. Can't wait to see you there. Speaking of street scenes, to prepare for the upcoming week, students are asked to remove all of their locker signs to prevent them from going missing during the hallway transformations. The link to sign up to volunteer for street scenes is located at the upper right-hand side of the student portal. Remember, hours can count towards the St. Therese of Lisieux Honor Society or National Honor Society. The esports spring season kicks off in a few weeks. If you're interested, please stop by the PC Lab in room 606 after school for more information. Games that have been played in the past seasons include Super Smash Bros., Splatoon, Mario Kart, Fortnite, Valorant, League of Legends, and many others. That's all we have for today. I'm Bridget Call. Have a fashionable Friday, Carmel.